Okay, so it looks like the Toronto City Council decided to keep the FIFA Fanfest general admission free. I mean, they did get a lot of backlash for it, and it was a decision less than 2 months away from the FIFA World Cup. But they're debating on some paid options, and I'm going to talk about that in this report. But after digging around why the budget is so messed up for Vancouver and Toronto, I found this article, and it's titled, "Why Montreal Isn't Hosting the World Cup." And all I have to say is those in Montreal dodged a bullet. Also, there's another report that talks about the seat lottery. And then there's a lot of people that are complaining right now because they thought they were getting like good seats. And when they got their tickets, they're in the nosebleeds. But there's still some that are willing to put themselves through punishment to buy tickets. And in the last report, I'm going to show you a queue that's still happening to buy tickets. So we're going to talk about all of this today. It's all FIFA Canada, I guess. And let's get started with a report where the Toronto City Council now makes the FIFA Fan Zone Festival free.
Toronto City Council has now voted to make FanFest free once again. This event that will happen at the bigger.We and at Fort York during the FIFA Games, 22 days of FanFest. It was originally promised as a free way for people to take in the event without having to shell out huge dollars for tickets. But then FIFA executives with the city said no, they wanted to charge $10 a head to be able to get a sense of how many people would come.
Now, this is just my opinion, but if they were going to make it chargeable, they should have did that in the beginning. You don't pull a fast one on the fans like less than 2 months to the event. But you have to think about the reason that they were toying with the idea of making chargeable. It's because of the budget. And the article I'm going to show you later that talks about Montreal not wanting the FIFA World Cup in their city and the outrageous demands from FIFA. It'll kind of explain why Toronto's in this situation. And it kind of makes me lose even more respect for FIFA, which is kind of surprising it can go even lower, especially after this. If you can't stand FIFA because of this photo right now, let me know in the comments below. And if you do and you're not subscribed to my channel and you can't stand this photo as well, then hit that subscribe button below. That way you're notified of my future videos when I call out FIFA.
Well, that got a lot of pushback from councillors and from the mayor who said to the FIFA executives, go back to the drawing board. They've come forward now with a plan to be able to make it free, but it comes with a $5 million budgetary hole. FIFA executives think they'll be able to fill that with sponsorships and other revenue streams, but those have not been secured as of yet. All of this is unprecedented, says Councillor Brad Bradford.
Well, I think we have more questions than answers at this point, and it's one of the most interesting financial staff reports I've ever seen because we are proceeding with a sole source procurement, but we don't have clarity on how we're going to pay for it. It's just hopes and prayers at this point in time. And
no, it's thoughts and prayers, buddy. But he's right in a sense. I mean, the city now has to find $5 million, and they got less than 2 months until the event starts. Where are they going to find this $5 million? I don't know. My guess is that it's going to be pretty hard to find sponsors, and it's going to have to come out of the Toronto budget somewhere, and something's going to have to get cut.
When you look at the revenue in terms of money we've been able to raise from sponsorship so far, unfortunately, the city's come up short.
As we come to the end and procurements are finished and we go to execute the event, there will be pluses and minuses in the budget. And so we'll be able to hopefully find some areas where we, have some cost savings in some line items that we can reallocate to this.
That's a pretty big hope. That's $5 million of hope.
Well, that together with some revenue opportunities, I think we'll look to close that gap.
Now, I have a question for those viewers in Toronto. What are you guys actually thinking about all of this? Because it sounds like the sponsor route might not have any leads, and that only leaves taking it out of the city budget. I don't know what the Vancouver situation is, but I'm pretty sure they're probably in the same boat. But it seems like the real winner in all of this is, well, the greed at FIFA and Montreal, who said no.
If the city cannot find $5 million in revenue from either sponsorships or other sources, there will have to be a way to find that money in the existing budget. As for the tickets, 80% of them, 80% of 20,000 tickets will be free, although will have to be booked in advance. The rest of the tickets will be VIP tickets ranging from $100 to $300 per person. What you get for that money, that will be announced next week.
Now, what are you going to get for those VIP tickets? I don't know. Maybe a FIFA lanyard, Evian water, and some overpriced food. That's my guess. Now, all of these free tickets, they're going to get taken up. There's no doubt about that. Because even though this event's being run by a clown show, it's still a popular event and people will attend. But the question I have is it going to be worth it for the host cities in Vancouver and Toronto? Which leads me to this next article I found. It's from CBC, and it's titled, "Why Montreal Isn't Hosting the World Cup, and FIFA's Rigid Rules for Toronto and Vancouver." Now, I know why Vancouver wanted it, because we got an idiot for a mayor.
2 years ago, when it was announced Vancouver would be hosting some FIFA events, Mayor Ken Sims said it would be a tourism cash cow.
Equivalent of probably 30 to 40 Super Bowls.
But some feel the initial hype was a little overhyped.
You know, the FIFA World Cup might have had a chance to be a drama-free event if they didn't align with the Orange Idiot. Okay, maybe not, because there's a lot of bullshit going on in the United States. It might have had some hope if the orange guy wasn't in the office. But this article shows why Montreal is actually the real winner when it comes to FIFA. Now, I'm going to read out parts of this article because it's a pretty long one, but there's some key points in here that I do want to read out to everyone. This section is titled, "All of the requirements were totally ridiculous. The document obtained by Onke included confidential agreements, notes, and emails that shed light on how major international events was organized. Some of those documents outlined in the agreement between FIFA and the cities of Toronto and Vancouver. It's the same contract that was offered to Montreal. Publicly, Montreal announced that it withdrew its co-hosting bid due to a funding issue. But there were multiple conditions that made a potential deal with FIFA virtually impossible. According to Caroline Proulx, Quebec's current housing minister who was in charge of tourism when Montreal was running for the event. Here are some of the conditions Onke uncovered in a September 20th report from Quebec's tourism ministry. For context, keep in mind that the World Cup will run from June 11th to July 19th. Now, if you're just listening, I'm going to read out the shopping list for you. Start with the first one. No events, activity, or programming would be allowed at the Olympic Stadium between April 25th to July 19, 2026. Second point, fields used for the FIFA World Cup could not be used for other purposes for a period of 23 months from September 2024 to July 2026. Third point, FIFA would have access to the Parc Jean Drapeau. Oh, I butchered that, I know I did. And the city's old port from May 22nd to July 17th of this year to organize events. And the last one, no major sporting events would be allowed in Montreal in the week prior to the World Cup's final game, as well as the week that followed it. Major Montreal events that could have been compromised by such restrictions include the F1 Canadian Grand Prix, the Jazz Festival, the Montreal Triathlon, and the Franco de Montreal Festival. Proulx said that FIFA was being greedy, and there was no way I was calling F1 to tell him that FIFA was demanding a sporting event blackout. According to her, in addition to putting the natural grass at the Big O as well as a retractable roof, at the time, there were still repairs going on the stadium roof, which was expected to be completed in time for the World Cup. FIFA wanted several elevators to be built at the venue for its guests. I wonder who these guests are that can't take the freaking stairs. Now, I could be quick to judge on this. I mean, it could be people that need accessibility. But this is FIFA we're talking about. Their demands just kept adding up, said Proulx. All of these requirements are totally ridiculous. According to an email sent December 2017 by a staff member within the Canada's Heritage Ministry, FIFA sought to keep details of its agreement confidential. In response to Radio Canada, a spokesperson from FIFA said that the World Cup agreements were drafted for brand protection purposes to guarantee sources of revenue. It's all about the money. The spokesperson said that maximizing revenue during the event will help FIFA invest a substantial amount of money in sports development around the world. So Montreal did the right thing in my opinion and decided to say no to FIFA. I mean, with those kind of demands, it's like having a monopoly for like an extended amount of time in Montreal. But unfortunately, Vancouver and Toronto, they said yes. And this next screenshot will actually show what it will cost Toronto. A horrible deal, Toronto City Councilor says. Toronto is set to host 6 World Cup matches. Josh Matlow was initially in favor of bringing the World Cup to Canada's largest city. The Toronto City Councilor now says, looking back, it was a horrible deal for our citizens. In 2028, he said, the city presented a plan that called for spending between $30 and $45 million to co-host the World Cup. And that now estimate costs at least $380 million. Just a tiny bit over budget, right? BMO Field had to be renamed to Toronto Stadium for the World Cup, since FIFA does not want commercial names to be used during the event. In Vancouver, Onke reports the estimated cost has gone from $240 million to potentially $624 million for 7 matches there. What the fuck? Both cities will cover the cost by splitting up the $220 million in federal funding. That represents about $1 million per minute of regulation action time, said Carson Brinda, the director of BC branch of Canadian Taxpayer Federation. The costs keep going up because politicians and bureaucrats don't know how to say no. The federal government will also be footing the bill for the security during the event. So I have to ask the viewers in Vancouver and Toronto, is this event worth it? Is it worth being in debt? For me being from Vancouver, I would say no. But what irks me the most is that Vancouver and Toronto are now going to be in debt and will have to redo their budgets because of this organization and this organization supporting this guy. So yeah, all I really have to say is, way to go, Montreal. Good on rejecting it. Now, do you want to see how disorganized FIFA is when it comes to the tickets? Let's take a look at this report.
Side, and what a block Fans eagerly awaiting the 2026 World Cup, with dozens of games set for stadiums in Canada, the US, and Mexico. But how FIFA is handling ticket sales, worthy of a red card, fans say.
At this point, it feels like they're just making stages up as we go along.
Azaz Sheikh has been to multiple World Cups. He thought the chance to buy tickets had passed. Then FIFA announced another so-called last chance window.
You suddenly just get an email and it seems like there's a press release going out. There was definitely an assumption a couple of windows ago that things were sold out.
Now, this is me putting my tinfoil hat on because I have no proof of this. But it seems like FIFA artificially propped up the prices of tickets, made it seem like people were buying. And when they found out people were not buying, now they got these like last-minute promos for tickets. That sound about right?
FIFA's tightly controlled ticketing process left many confused and angry. Fans who paid top dollar were placed far from the field, only to now see better seats released.
They kind of stuck me in a corner, and then I could have just waited until late April and bought the same tickets, if not way better seats, for the same cost.
Adam Zakar started a website tracking where FIFA placed early ticket buyers and found many people had similar experiences.
I think they have overplayed their hand. I think that they were thinking that their, artificial demand is going to create this kind of frenzy that, gets people to kind of act on emotion rather than logic.
I mean, you don't have to be a genius to figure this out. You don't push out last-minute tickets if there is demand. And if I bought tickets and they put me in the nosebleeds and I see tickets now for the same price with better seats, I'd be royally pissed. In fact, I would probably get a refund.
FIFA set ticket prices high for most games in hopes of keeping them off third-party sites like StubHub and SeatGeek, even creating their own resale site.
Their resale site is just as bad as StubHub and the other ones. Probably even worse.
They're constantly monitoring the level of demand. They're hoping to capture the maximum amount of surplus from every game.
Still, many tickets remain unsold, and with an expanded field, tickets for games featuring less marquee teams are going for around $200 on many secondary markets. And the latest window Wednesday causing more frustration.
A lot of uproar about their lack of transparency.
Many reported waiting in a queue for hours before getting an error message and giving up.
Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than waiting for hours for the queue to open up and then getting a rate limit exceeded. But I want to quickly go over to the CTV report because they actually sat through the queue and basically showed us what's going on. Let's take a look. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to skim through this because I'm starting to run out of time.
FIFA has slowly released tickets in phases. Today's drop was sold as a last-minute sale to each of the World Cup's 104 matches. So CTV News logged onto FIFA's site this morning to try and land a pair of tickets.
11:05, we have an update. It says that we're almost there. Okay, it's now 11:35, and I'm being told that the position in the queue is secured.
Suspenseful, isn't it?
Don't move, with an exclamation mark.
So we waited and waited.
It's now 2 o'clock. It's been 3 hours. I'm not even halfway through the queue. I'm almost there, according to the website. But I'm going to miss my deadline, so we're out.
You have to wonder how many people have You have to really wonder how many people have that much time to just sit there and wait for a status bar to go. And hell, some might actually get a rate limit or a connection disconnected thing at the end. It's like waiting on hold for an hour and a half with your bank, and then all of a sudden the call getting disconnected.
I think it might well be that we see, high demand from domestic supporters, but whether it will reflect the sort of global support that we typically see at these tournaments, that might be another question.
The author of The Complete History of the World Cup, Rob Fielder, notes that some fans believe the phased rollout of ticket availability is FIFA simply creating an artificial scarcity in an effort to drive up prices.
It feels very cynical on FIFA's part and very commercial. And I think what they would say is they're trying to act in the best interests of the global game.
You mean the best interest in their bank account? I don't know. This whole FIFA thing to me is, like I said, I don't watch football, and I'm probably not going to be watching any games. But this whole thing seems like a cash grab.
CTV News reached out to FIFA for a comment. They've yet to respond. A report released in the New York Times this week reports that FIFA is struggling to sell tickets for the U.S. Men's World Cup opener, claiming that as of April 10th, just over 40,000 tickets were purchased. The stadium's capacity is nearly 70,000.
Oh no, that's so sad. Anyways, I actually do hope we see empty seats in the stadium. And if we do, you can sure as hell bet that I'll be doing this. I know some of the FIFA World Cup diehards are going to be in my comments saying that why do you hate it so much and that I'm just spreading misinformation. Well, I do hate it. And it's because of this. An organization that supports the chaos that this US administration is causing the rest of the world right now. So fuck FIFA. And if the haters think I'm too snarky these days, well, that's what you get when I don't have scripts anymore. It's just kind of like what comes out of my mouth. So if your feelings are hurt by hearing the truth, maybe my channel is not for you. But I have a feeling a lot of people viewing right now will have the same sentiment as me when it comes to FIFA. To close off this video, I would like to thank April for posting this on the Guard the Leaf Hey Cafe page, and she took this photo of the center block of Parliament Hill in Ottawa. The colors are great in this photo, and I really thank you for sharing it with the community. Alright, that's all I got for today's video. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international perspective without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And if you want to see more of my videos, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone. I'll catch you in the next one.